So Starmer is in the shitter again, this time also being targeted by Labour themselves. This is because he keeps fucking up over and over and over and over and over and over and seriously. If you want to be a good leader, look to Labour, and then do literally the opposite of everything they are doing. The Online Safety Act and Digital ID scheme are Labour's core policies at the moment, and everybody wants them gone. The Online Safety Act in particular has even pissed off other countries because it's forcing platforms like Xbox and PlayStation to require age verification, which that means handing over your private information, such as passports and other legal documents. Then, if those companies get hacked, congratulations, you've just been doxxed by the United Kingdom's government. Sir Starmer is tanking socially and now legally as well. So what does this mean for the UK? Well, the rest of Labour could file a vote of no confidence, which, to be honest, I'm surprised hasn't happened yet. But maybe that's something to do with the fact that MPs got a massive pay rise. Who knows? Joking aside, the actual reason is that if Starmer is cast out, it would more than likely trigger a general election. And no way in hell is Labour winning that one, even without Starmer. Like, at all. They have no chance. I don't even think Labour's own MPs would vote for them at this point. But this would actually be a fantastic opportunity for the rest of the left to want a general election because of one major factor: the pitiful state of the right. Let me explain. Left-wingers currently have a strategy, which is to essentially stop voting for every other party other than Green. Lib Dems, nope. Labour, definitely not. Tories, been there, done that. They wouldn't even touch reform or restore. And your party?
You serious?
I'm considering making a separate video on them, because they are so shit that no one knows who they fucking are. Like, here is how bad it is. You know that bitch that made an ass out of herself on Monday?
Mr. Speaker, we all know that the Prime Minister appointed Mandelson because he owes his job to him. Yep. He appointed him, he defended him, and now he claims to know nothing. He is gaslighting the nation. Yep. So let's call this out for what it is. The Prime Minister is a barefaced liar, and if he had any decency left...
No, order, sit and leave. Leave now. I'll name you otherwise and go now if I were you. The question is that Zara Sultana be named and leave this house. All those in favour? Aye. Leave. I'm sorry you've done this. I really am.
Yeah, she's the leader of that party, and still no one cares. Her little outburst was just a pathetic attempt at trying to gain some kind of popularity. The left have a solid strategy, and it's all done to prevent reform from getting into power. But like I said, it isn't left's good strategy that is the problem. It's the right's terrible strategy. If the vote were to happen now, my personal pick would be for the Conservatives. I think Kemi Badenoch would be a fantastic leader. She's very charismatic, and is someone with a seemingly balanced mindset, which is a very rare sight nowadays. However, unfortunately, voting for them is just a dead vote. The overwhelming majority of the right-wing population was in support of reform, and dividing up the results just wasn't worth it. This was a slam-dunk victory for reform, until they started recruiting members from other parties. This massively slowed progress, and obtaining people that they were previously so against just seems like a very odd choice. Was reform really stealing the best members from other parties? Or were the other parties just cutting off dead weight? Either way, this move by reform essentially told the world, we don't know what we are doing. And it's good that they are sorting this shit out now, rather than like a week before the election. However, the most important element that came from this change was the formation of the Restore Britain Party. This party is basically a reform on acid, even stricter policies on immigration, bringing back the death penalty, the annihilation of all asylum seeker programs. Voting would be restricted to only those born in Britain. Burqa and halal meat would be completely banned. No more benefits for foreigners, the obliteration of the gender ideology and anti-British propaganda that takes place in schools. Don't get me wrong, Those policies would massively benefit people like myself, a British-born white woman that hates having to constantly wake up and see how an illegal immigrant makes half my annual salary just because they fail their asylum claim. But this also massively punishes everybody else. Let's say your family moved from America to England when you were less than a year old. You spend your entire life here, and then 18 years later, you can no longer vote. Likewise, many Afghanis helped us in the Middle East, and did so believing that we were in the right during a very controversial war. When America fucked us all over and pulled out without warning, we took some of the guys that assisted us back to the UK, as they would now likely be branded a traitor and then hunted down. Those guys completely deserve all the rights that should come with becoming a British citizen. They helped us. Now it's time for us to help them. But under Restore, all these perks would be gone. And honestly, they might have been better just staying off over there. Having a system in place that allows for exceptions should be implemented. At the very least, these new laws should only apply to people that have migrated here after said laws have passed. Also, essentially banning every single Islamic practice. That seems like a restriction of free speech to me. We shouldn't support this. No one should support this. However, that would be the logically and morally correct stance to take. And those simply aren't options for many people after everything that has happened. Grooming gangs that have been largely operated by Muslims, the completely insulting educational policies coming into practice that punish you just for being a white male, the sheer amount of money being spent on illegal immigrants only for them to go and rape white women. Then Restore come along, promising to wipe all of them out. Those policies, they give me so many benefits, and all it costs is my morality. It's so fucking difficult. The fact that I can't outright state I wouldn't vote for them says a lot about the current situation in the UK, and I hate it. But no doubt many people are thinking this way, and it's dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. Form fucked up, leaving the right wing with only the Conservatives and Restore to follow. The former being the least popular, and the left strategy meaning that we cannot afford to split up these votes. Is this just me trying to justify discrimination so that I come out on top? Am I only talking about the negatives of this to make it seem like I care, when, in reality, I'll go to the polls and vote Restore without hesitation? It all keeps piling up. A completely fractured mind for someone that has always valued logic over feelings. Yes, there will be many people that are simply racist and want what's best of them regardless of anyone else. But because the left have completely butchered the word racist, this isn't even a factor anymore. No wonder I took a few weeks off talking about politics. I come back and this is what happened. And the one to blame for all of this, it's Starmer. Starmer for just being a complete fucking retard all the damn time. A landslide victory, and all he does is constantly piss me off. I'll give him credit for something, and then immediately get fucked over and made to look like an idiot. Whilst I wasn't expecting him to look at it, I gave him advice in the last video, saying that he should be honest and start talking with more leaders, trying to come together. Then a few days later, it comes out that he doesn't even ask questions when something doesn't make any sense.
So Mandelson has gained security clearance, even though the security vetting documents are completely missing? Seems about right.
He continues to use everything except common sense, then fires his own party members because of his mistakes. Oh Lyra, why not just vote for Green Party then? Because they are a bunch of wannabe hippies that plan to double, triple and quadruple down on this woke bullshit.
Hey guys, let's legalize drugs. Then let's disarm and open up our borders even more. And then we too will start pursuing green energy. And we'll start that by abandoning nuclear energy.
The Green Party live in a fancy land, Labour are full of retards, Reform have no fucking clue what they are doing, Conservatives are a dead vote, Lib Dems and your party are completely fucking irrelevant, and Restore plan to make everything dystopian unless you are British. This is why it's the left's perfect time to strike. But if someone Restore have condemned comes along and causes another mass incident, like the Southport stabbings, we are all going to snap.